As Trump cuts back joint drills, is Seoul preparing to make its deadliest tanks even harder to destroy? Is the world's top NATO standard tank about to get a lethal new shield against drones, missiles, and battlefield threats? Can a $2.43 billion K2 Black Panther makeover help Seoul counter the drone threat reshaping modern armored warfare? Will jammers, interceptors, and remote guns turn the K2 into a layered defense web against attacks from every direction? Are Kim and Xi watching closely as Seoul upgrades its premier tank for a battlefield dominated by drones? As Trump scales back U.S. South Korea drills, Seoul is hardening its deadliest tanks with a major new protection package against emerging battlefield threats. South Korea is preparing a major defensive upgrade for its K2 Black Panther tanks, adding active interception, electronic warfare, and remote weapon capabilities. DARPA approved the K2 Performance Upgrade Project, valued at about $2.43 billion, creating one of South Korea's largest ever tank survivability programs. The modernization program will run from 2028 until 2046, according to Military Watch, with the first upgraded K2S expected to enter service from 2033. The long timeline aims to keep the K2 relevant as battlefield threats rapidly evolve, particularly through drones, guided missiles, and remote-triggered explosives. Cheap FPV drones and loitering munitions have become a major threat to modern tanks, allowing low-cost systems to target far more expensive armored vehicles. The Ukraine war showed drones can strike roofs, rear sections, and other armor weak spots, exposing the limits of conventional protection built for frontal attacks. A new active protection system will intercept incoming threats, using sensors to detect and destroy approaching missiles, rockets, and selected drone threats before impact. Electronic jammers are designed to disrupt hostile drones, targeting the radio links that many FPV systems need for control, navigation, and final attack guidance. A remote weapon station will engage threats around the tank, allowing crews to fire at nearby drones or hostile personnel from within armored protection. Hard kill and electronic protection will work together, combining physical interception with signal disruption to create multiple layers against incoming attacks. The crew can engage nearby threats without exposing themselves, reducing the risk of tank personnel being hit while operating weapons from outside the turret. The upgrade adds new layers beyond conventional passive armor, shifting K2 protection from simply absorbing attacks to detecting, disrupting, and destroying them. Notably, the new defenses will build on K2's already sophisticated protection architecture, which gives crews early warning of incoming weapons and targeting activity. The K2 already uses millimeter-wave radar for missile approach warning, detecting incoming threats and alerting the crew before a weapon reaches the vehicle. Laser warning receivers detect hostile targeting, warning the crew when enemy systems illuminate the tank with laser rangefinders or missile guidance systems. Radar warning equipment also alerts the tank crew, providing early indication that hostile radar-based systems may be tracking or preparing to engage the vehicle. Smoke grenade launchers can obscure the tank, creating a protective screen to disrupt enemy observation, laser targeting, and the accuracy of incoming guided weapons. Existing systems mainly detect threats rather than destroy them, giving the crew warning but offering no automatic physical interception of approaching weapons. The new active protection system will add physical interception capability, creating a smart shield designed to destroy threats before they strike the K2. The K2 is described as the most capable NATO standard tank, according to Military Watch, combining advanced sensors, fire control systems, mobility, and protection technology. The South Korean tank has also secured major export sales to Poland and Turkey, demonstrating that Allied militaries see the K2 as a viable high-end armored platform. South Korea was among the first states to develop indigenous active protection systems, giving Seoul an early foundation for building automated defenses against missiles and drones. Russia and North Korea have since developed their own active protection technologies, raising the pressure on South Korea to keep improving tank survivability. The K2 upgrade comes after Trump announced a reduction in U.S. South Korea military drills, while looking to expand ties with North Korea. President Trump has ordered the Pentagon to substantially reduce U.S. South Korea military exercises, citing their cost and tensions with North Korea. Trump said the exercises were too costly and sent what he called an inappropriate and hostile signal to North Korea. He cited his very good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as a reason for scaling back the joint military drills. Trump said he recently asked Seoul to join the U.S. effort to denuclearize Iran, but South Korea refused the request. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the United States has, long ago, agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. These exercises are not only costly, with much of these costs paid for by the United States of America, as usual, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald J. Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful. Therefore, and based on the fact that it is too late to cancel, I have instructed Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to substantially reduce the joint military exercises. While somewhat unrelated, I recently asked the President of South Korea if they would like to join us in the denuclearization of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And they said, no thanks." Unquote. Trump said reducing the drills would help avoid sending what he described as a hostile signal to North Korea while lowering the cost of the exercises.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
Did you speak to
Where
him?
are you in conversation?
And very positive. Well, just so you understand with South Korea, look, South Korea has been protected by us for many, many years. And during my first term, they agreed to pay close to $3 billion a year for protection because we don't, they essentially weren't paying. And I asked them to do that at my request. I said, not right. They weren't happy about it, but they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy. But we agreed for a short term that it would be $3 billion, and next year it would go up, and the next year it would go up, so they start paying for their protection. When the election was rigged and I ended up watching for 4 years and then coming back, I watched Biden rescind that $3 billion a year for whatever reason. When I called recently the president of South Korea, who I like, I think he's very nice actually, but I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un, your next door neighbor, and you're not going to help us on a very easy military operation in Iran? That's strange. No, we'd rather not get involved. I say, well, why are we involved in helping you? So, and I want to help them, but, when you ask somebody, would you like to give us a hand, and they say, no thanks, and then we're guarding them from a country and paying ourselves billions of dollars, it's costing us billions and billions of dollars to protect not only them, but other countries. Look at NATO. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars protecting Europe from Russia. Hundreds of billions, mostly from Russia, but from other things too. And then they say, well, they don't want to get involved with guarding the strait where they get most of their oil. They get 50% of their oil, and they don't want to get involved. Why are we doing it? So all I want is fairness. And South Korea, I get along with them very well, but they were paying $3 billion a year, and then they convinced Biden that I was probably a bad person and they shouldn't, and he immediately rescinded that order. So we were getting paid. We would have been getting paid a lot more, but we can't go around and protect all of these countries, especially when they're not there to help us.
How do you respond to folks who say that you are prioritizing the interest of adversaries in North Korea over our longtime partners by scaling back military exercises?
No, I'm making it much safer. You see, I'm actually making it much safer. Kim Jong-un has always treated me with great respect, and we met on numerous occasions, actually, 2 primary occasions, spoken and spent time. I understand him, he understands me. You're doing war games. I get along with him. He didn't like Biden, he didn't like Obama, he didn't like anybody. But I get along with him very well. Now, what I'm doing is making things safer. Just the opposite. Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.